Thank you, Rakul. Thank you for coming.
Thank
you,
you so
guys.
much.
Good
morning, everyone.
Right. So you are just straight fresh from a success. So that does that when you're going for events like these and everywhere, just you've had a hit, that adds to your aura, personality.
Absolutely. I think who doesn't love success? Yeah, right. And you put in so much effort behind a film, and it's literally months or even a year of hard work, and you feel that adrenaline rush when every like when I walked in,
Yeah.
and when people said we loved the film, and like we were also talking
Yes.
backstage about it. Of course, it changes the energy, and that's what you crave for as an actor.
True, true. So we are talking about De De Pyar De 2. Went and watched it. It was a busy time. I went and watched it because I was doing this session. I said I can't not watch it and do this session.
So you wouldn't have watched it if you were not doing this?
We were busy with these awards, so that's my
Rohit,
excuse.
That's a wrong answer.
Right. No, I don't miss any films, but we also have, Rakul, so much to watch.
I know.
Right. But, when we watch films like that, and this was, I think, great casting. First, tell me about, working with Ajay Devgan is a dream for a lot of people. He's made his place, such a solid guy, such a good actor. What was that like?
It's always amazing to work with Ajay sir.
Yeah.
I've said this many a times that I think he's one of the finest, most secure actors that we have. And also he allows the other people in the film, whether you look at Shaitan or whether you look at De De Pyar De or whether you look at the part 1 of De De Pyar De, he allows his co-actors to also shine, which comes with a lot of sense of security, and I feel that he is, for the star that he is, he's so grounded and so like non-tantrum like, and welcoming everyone, never sits in his vanity van. So just those basics of how he is even on set, I think is amazing, and is a lot of learning for us as the younger generation.
Right. Lot of people who work with him, I don't know how it is now. Pehle to they used to only get scared, yaar, set pe jaunge, koi prank karenge, kuch aisa hoga, actors, co-actors, and I have witnessed a lot of that also.
Strangely, I haven't.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I haven't, and we've discussed this when the part 1 of De De Pyar De was being done. A lot of interviews, I was asked, did he play any pranks? And to which Ajay sir said, yaar, I used to do that when I was younger, I don't do that any longer. And so we didn't really have any pranks on set, and that's what I'm saying, that the side of him that I have seen is extremely professional. Like, he is somebody who talks and jokes and all of that, but I haven't seen any pranks on the 3 films I've associated with him.
Bach gaye aap. I was watching one interview of Mizan and you, and he was saying, to let me do that split scene.
Yes.
Again, what you were saying earlier, he's such a secure guy. Many actors would say, "Ye mera scene hai, nobody touches. This has become iconic."
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and I don't think. See, there are very few people who are okay with the idea of sharing, who understand what is important for a script, who forget that it's not a conversation about, oh, I am the star. It's a conversation about what the script requires, and is it good for the film. And Ajay sir is that person. Like, he would never cross question. There are a lot of actors, obviously I'm not going to name, who have an issue by being called certain names in the film. And they fail to distance their own personal identity from the film's identity. And I feel that Ajay sir doesn't have a problem at all. Or whether it was Maddie sir in this film. Otherwise, I feel like you watched the film, a lot of dialogues won't be said if the star is not comfortable. And he knows that this is what a real parent would say, or this is what in reality how people would react. So I feel kudos to him, because I don't think if he didn't have that security, a film like this can be made.
Correct. Like even say, and integrating everything into a film is a talent. Like, saying, "Ye maine 30 saal pehle kiya tha." These are very
30 saal pehle to ye paida bhi nahi hui thi. Taking all those jokes, or that song, "Main kya karu Ram mujhe buddha mil gaya," all of that.
When I see this, then there's some discussion on some other places going on that there aren't good roles written for women. But then when I see this, the role, it's so, you're such a central character of this movie. Are there good characters now written for women? You feel we are getting there?
I feel we're on that journey.
Okay.
We have had a lot of films in the recent times where women are getting good, substantial roles in commercial films.
Right.
Why I'm saying commercial films is because commercial films have the reach, right? Whether it is Alia Bhatt in Rocky Rani,
Ji, haan.
Or whether it is a Gangubai being written for her, or so many other films. There's an Urta Punjab, there's, De De Pyar De has always had, even the part one had my role and Tabu ma'am's role as the central characters also. So I feel things are changing, and I feel we are getting there.
We're getting there.
Of course, a lot more has to be done, but we are on that path.
Right. How important, but it's also important to balance this and keep it's not in anyone's hands, but commercial success chalte hi jana chahiye. You have to have a hit to then be a part of a next big film. It's still like that?
It is. I'd be lying if I say it's not. Even though, and I'm speaking on behalf of actors, it is not in our control. The fate of any film is not in any actor's control. There are too many dynamics involved there. From marketing to the reach to the timeline that you're releasing in to suddenly exams chal rahe hain kya, the period of the film. So the last person who can actually really do anything about the result of a film is an actor, because your job is over between an action and cut. You literally, your job is when you're making the film. But it is, it is the business, the nature of the business that we're in, where success speaks like nothing else. And you do require, box office, even if not box office success, you do require the credibility as an actor to sort of move forward. I feel the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of ups and downs also post the pandemic. From the film industry point of view. And there have been great films, which unfortunately in the past haven't done well on the box office. But having said that, people have taken notice of good performances. And because it was a phenomena in the entire industry, because everyone was going through that, shaky boat, sailing through that shaky boat. So I feel yes and no. People do notice great performances. People do sort of give you credibility for, okay, you were good in that film. But ultimately, after a couple of those films also, you do require box office success,
The consistency.
The consistency, you require the numbers. It's sad, but you do. Yeah.
True. And on the side, do you have to balance a different genre where you have a bit of a serious role and it's an intense role to one, show that you can do that? And comedy, does comedy still get the respect? Do actors in a comedy film still get that respect that they deserve?
Personally, if I have to really choose, I'll tell you that doing comedy is tougher. It's the toughest genre. Making people laugh is tougher. Because comedy timing actually is dependent on every co-actor's timing. If you're in a scene with multiple actors, my dialogue has to come at a point where you don't miss the punch, right? And I have to also keep reacting when someone else is saying. Whereas when you're in something serious or when you're crying, you have the support of glycerine, you have the support of, you're focusing on close-ups and, it's not dependent on necessarily another actor. It's a very internal emotion, which is easier to sort of tap onto. So I feel any actor would agree that comedy is a tougher genre. And I think, I would hope that it gets a little more respect. It does get respect, but a little more credit. Because writing humor, which is from the writing stage I'm talking about. So writing humor is tougher. Because it has to make sense. Like, I love the writing of De De Pyar De. I think it is not senseless humor. It is really well-written humor. It's situational. It's funny, and that is very difficult. And then to achieve that while performing is again tougher than crying.
Right. ऐसी film offers De De Pyar De 2 जैसे कितनी आती है आपके पास? How often is that?
You mean in terms of the length of the role, the author-backed role, or you mean in terms of the genre?
A good solid film where you have an important role that you did it. Just as important as De Pyar De too.
Rare.
Rare. Okay. Even today that's rare.
Even today it's rare, because the volume is rare. Like I said, we are we are on that path where we are starting to make films which are more, involving women in the central character or taking the narrative forward. But see, it's different layers, right? Rare because the industry has gone through a lot of ups and downs.
Correct.
Rare because rom-com as a genre or comedy as a genre, there is an uncertainty of how many people will go and watch it in the theaters. So the volume has gone down from how it was pre-pandemic of such films, right? Because the returns are shaky. Yeah, so I feel like if I'm talking about this genre and author-backed role, then rare.
Rare. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's ask this. Guys, if a rom-com is made, how many of you will go and watch it? Raise your hand genuinely. See, that's a good amount of crowd that, there's definitely some kind of a disconnect between filmmakers and the audience.
Yeah, but that's like 50% of them, and let's ask how many of them go for every rom-coms.
Last rom-com that
See, look at the hands.
See, very few, yeah.
It's 5 people in a crowd of 100 people.
So
that's the problem, right? I feel like so we have to somewhere, I mean, it's adapt to the newer system where people have gotten comfortable with watching it at home. But I still feel that comedy and rom-com as a genre needs to be enjoyed with community. You can't sit alone and laugh.
Right.
You want to share your laughter with your friends. You want to share your laughter with your family. Like at least me as a person, I'm a viewer that I'll watch a serious film at home if I have to. But I will want to watch a funny film, an entertaining film with my friends, so that even after the film you continue laughing for another 1 hour, on jokes that were cracked, or while you're catching your dinner. So it becomes like a community evening.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And how many of those offers come where you just have to be there, or it's some item number, or it's just all about the male actor and you are there, which you say no to? How many of those come your way?
I'd say that's still a little more than women really leading author-backed roles. But see, a character like De Pyar De is a rarity, so it's wrong if I start comparing every film with that.
Correct. Fair
because
enough.
that film required it to be like that. The agency is with the girl because it's her house and her parents and her dynamic with her parents.
Right.
But having said that, I feel like absolute nothingness from the female actor also has sort of reduced.
Correct.
That's a good thing.
We've gone up from there.
We've gone up from there. Gone are those days where I've also been part of films, we all have, where you're just there for 4 scenes and 4 songs. Now I think things are changing.
Right. When you started out, like you said, we all have done these kind of films. What was your criteria then, and what all goes into it now? What is the big change when you say yes, ki I'll do this? What is the big change from saying yes that time to saying yes now?
See, Rohit, of course a lot has changed, right? When I started out, 10, 11 years back, right? At that time, I was somebody who's not from the industry, who was just waiting for an opportunity or a chance that mujhe ek chance do, I want to be on the big screen and I want to prove myself. And even after that first chance, it's not like you arrive, right? It's been a constant journey of hard work. So in the beginning phase of my career, I think I was looking at it like, okay, let me look at big tent pole films.
Right.
I'm being very honest.
Sure,
I want my visibility to be there. I want people to recognize me. I want people to understand my work ethic. I'm so punctual or I'm hardworking and I know that I can deliver. So the way you look at things is very different. Now the point in my career that I'm at, and especially post De Pyar De 2 and the kind of love that I've received, I'm hoping that I can make smarter choices, or I get the opportunity to sort of play challenging roles and play meaningful roles.
Right.
If you come to me today with a just a song and 2 scenes kind of a film, I may not do it, even though I've done it in the past. Again, there might be an exception if there's Shah Rukh sir. I might just be like, okay, I
Correct.
can be a fly on the wall.
100%.
But yeah, jokes apart. So I think like your choices sort of keep evolving as you spend more years,
Right.
and as
Got
you
it.
work more, as your experience grows. And now I'm in a phase where I want to do meaningful roles because I know now people have seen it.
Yeah. No,
You know, now they've seen it, and now
True.
I want to be able to push that envelope.
True, and it's great what you said, that initially you want people to know your work ethic. That's so important.
Yeah.
I've known Rakul from before. Even here today, she was bang on time. You all were watching the other session. We were waiting right behind backstage and chatting. So she's never late and always on time. This kind of discipline is also rare.
Thank
so
you.
that is really good.
Thank you.
What about balancing this and कि यार साल में एक साउथ की भी फिल्म करनी चाहिए.
Yeah, I would really like to balance it. You know, I was trying to do it till about 2021. 2021 was my last release in Telugu. And from that 18, 19 to 21, 2-3 years, I was trying to balance, but it just becomes so difficult.
Right.
And I've been someone, Rohit, that I've worked five films at a time, while I was in Telugu.
Yeah.
And I've worked 300 days on 365 days.
Wow.
I've been that actor. And I think you reach a phase where I'm like, okay, I want to work. I want to do 2-3 films in a year, but not at a cost where I'm not giving my best to each film.
Right.
I feel like in the beginning days of my career, I also didn't know better. You also were like just shooting, right? But now I understand what it takes to give it my all to a character. What it takes to stay in that character. And I'd like to pick work like that so that I give my best.
Right.
And I see that difference. I see that difference in the last couple of films too. If I watch my films 5 years back or 7 years back. And as much as I would love to continue, I hope timelines match and I can, because I really miss Telugu cinema.
Right,
I miss speaking in Telugu. I see a Telugu person and I'm like, oh, ekkada nunchi, I start talking in Telugu. My heart gets so happy because I found my identity there.
Right, yeah. Anyone speaks Telugu here? Yeah.
Hello, no.
There you go. Happy?
Very happy.
Right. So I get how it's tough to balance. But can one balance this? Ki let's have a OTT release, let's have a web series, and let's have this, because that again has a full new audience.
Absolutely, and I'm all game for it. I am, I feel that the kind of reach that OTT has today is insane. And the kind of content that you can experiment with is also immense.
Yeah.
It's huge. The potential is huge. So I would love to. I am, in fact, reading a lot of stuff. But for me personally, if I do something on OTT as a show, it should be something that's path-breaking.
Wow. And what genre would you like? If someone's listening and watching, what's your go-to genre? Ki yaar ye mile to maza aa jaye.
Go-to to nahi, but I'd say, I want a genre or I want a show where you sort of... you remember the character, like an Emily in Paris.
Right.
It's not possible without an Emily. Or even if there's something like a Maharani, for example. It's not possible without the Maharani.
Correct.
Right?
Correct,
so a central character, a character where a woman has agency, it takes the narrative forward, and there's so much great writing happening on that front.
True. That's true. I can't imagine a Maharani without Huma. I can't imagine a Call Me Babe without Ananya. Delhi Crime without Shefali
Without Shefali Shah. I was just going to say Delhi Crime without Shefali Shah. So something that meaty.
Wow. But see, again, we have examples today that,
Absolutely. So to all the makers, just experiment.
Right. Now, you're married to someone who's in the film business.
Right.
How much of film talk is there in this house? Because he's a producer, he's in the business, in the system. You yourself are an actor who's always working. How much of film talk happens on the dinner table?
So we try to not do film talk at home. That's sort of a rule or an effort from our end, because then we will never really be able to draw that line or draw that boundary of where work stops and where home starts.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And on the dinner table, that's never our conversation.
Okay.
The only times, fewer times that we would discuss with one another if we want some advice. Or if I'm like, I need a bouncing board, and I'm like, what do you think? What are your thoughts? And then even in those cases, the decision, if it's Jackie asking me or me asking, remains with us.
Right.
But it's nice to have a bouncing board,
Right.
someone who understands the business.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I was really, getting these anxiety pangs right before the release, then I had someone to tell me, relax, it's okay. Should I ask what's happening? I said, yeah, please ask, please tell me what's happening. So I feel it's great that time, but
Right.
otherwise on an everyday basis, we don't talk work.
Right. Yeah, so you are that person. Is this anxiety before the release? Like Thursday will be a hectic day for you?
Thursday is. No matter how much I say now, post the release, I'm saying, no, I'm okay. But every time a Friday comes and that Thursday, and I feel like what also adds to it now, Rohit, is that now a lot of reporting has started.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And I've come, when I started working, it wasn't the case. Day one, morning show would decide how people have liked your film.
Correct.
And it was purely on the audience review.
Yeah.
Right? Even back in the days, you talk about 90s, 2070s, Sholay,
Yeah,
films like
yeah.
that. Today, I don't think that's possible. Because how Sholay became a hit weeks after it became...
Much later, correct.
Much later, right? And it became a blockbuster. Today, because of constant reporting and social media news, we don't even give that opportunity to a film.
Yeah.
And I feel that's really sad, and especially for smaller films, artsy films. They just come to the screen and the first day it's like, oh, the opening number is very low and this film is going to be a flop. Arey, but let the audiences see it.
Correct.
So I feel the medium and so much reporting is really affecting a lot of films also.
And I just feel numbers se aapka lena dena kya hai?
Numbers se kya lena? As an audience,
Yeah.
it is a very, film watching, film viewing, content consumption is a very subjective choice.
Absolutely.
It's a very individualistic choice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
may like thriller or I may like gore, for example. My mother will not like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make the genre, like my mother doesn't understand horror comedies. And we have that debate at home.
Correct.
So I'm like, no, I loved it. She's like, aise thodi bhoot hote hain."
Yeah, fair,
So it's a very different understanding of genre, and that doesn't make the film good or bad. So I feel like even the reporting should limit to how is the film,
Right.
not what are the advances, what is the first day, till
Correct.
afternoon this much money is made, till evening this much money is made. Why do
Correct.
people
Why?
need to
Yeah,
know
that's
that?
too much. Too
It's
much
too
information.
And we're also spoiling the system.
System. Yeah.
I feel like it is media reporting, media and films go hand in hand. It's one system. So I feel that we have to support one another, not like...
Yeah. True. Like, go and watch the trailer. If you like the trailer, if you like the actor,
Go watch the film.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take some audience questions. Anyone has a question, raise your hand. We'll get you a mic. Raise your hand, guys. Yeah, please, can we get her a mic?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So as we are discussing today about, women being into the beauty standards and everything, we have been in 2025, but I just want to know that even today when we are talking about getting women-oriented movies, does beauty standards still affect the casting today that is happening for certain movies in association with, now we have been talking about Mardani, we recently had Haq where Yami Gautam had her job to be played. But I just want to know that even today, is beauty influencing the casting so much?
No, I don't think so. I think casting today is very... it depends on whether you suit the role or not. And I think that's a great improvement from the past, where people look at your performance. Do you fit the part or not, right? There have been many films which have suddenly become big blockbusters, right? Without even known names. Forget beauty, not known names, newcomers. And I think it's great to see that. And I think as actors, we should also not set unrealistic beauty expectations. I always say this, and I've said this in many interviews. If you're going out and you're in oiled hair, just go out in oiled hair. How does it matter? We all oil our hair. you know. So I feel as actors, it's our responsibility to sort of not set unrealistic beauty standards. And as audiences also, you all should go and watch a film for the casting and for the impact that the trailer makes, and not for who's in it.
Right. What she's saying is absolutely right. It depends on that. And also, like, say, a Call Me Bae, that girl is required to look like that. Now, she
Yeah.
may be absolutely beautiful and whatever in that role and with Gucci and Prada bags, but that is the role. So, what she's saying, if the role requires.
I mean, Huck was such a beautiful performance by Yami Gautam, right? And she looked the part. She was sans makeup, you know, and I think it's beautiful to do that.
Yeah. Firstly, before we wrap, that was my last question. Where else will they see you next? What have you shot? What are you going to shoot? Can you tell us anything?
So there's a film, Pati Patni Aur Wo Do, where you will see me very soon.
Sab
in
Do, हाँ.
हाँ, Sab Do. ये वो दो हैं. So this is in March. And then there are 2 other films that I will speak about.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. After a hit like this, are you that person who's like, I want a holiday, I want to go somewhere?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I went for all that stressful week and the pre-release jitters, and of course because I was shooting for Pati Patni right before De De Pyar De was releasing, so I've been working for the last couple of months. So I think 10-15 days, 2 weeks post the release, I took off.
Right. Great. Good.
Yes.
You totally deserve that. You know, you were talking about, you know, just going out as you are, even if you've oiled your hair. Do paps being there never puts pressure on someone like you? You know, you're a lead actress.
There's one pap here. Ask him how many times he's captured me in terrible hair 2-3 days back also. And I was like, damn, Rakul, you're an actor, man. Thode baal to theek kar leti. Literally, I was going to a salon because I wanted a hair wash and like just some pampering time.
Right.
But I feel like, Rohit, to that now, I am the kind of person who refuses to take that pressure. I feel there is no limit to the insecurity that I can create for myself. I can also be in a boat that, oh my God, I have to look perfect all the time, and I take that pressure on me. But I refuse to take that pressure because we're all human.
Right.
And it is okay to go out without makeup. It is okay if I'm seen in my pajamas. It is okay if my hair is not blow dried post my workout session, because it never can be. Right? If either I can have a good workout or I can have a good blow dry. So for me, I refuse to take that pressure, because I feel even for everyone who's watching, normalcy is such a normal part. Today, the younger generation, see, they're born in digital age.
Right.
The Gen Alphas and Betas and Gen Zs are in the digital age, where they feel that, oh my God, she looks so pretty. How will I ever be like that? But they have to understand that there is a team behind us who makes us look pretty. I don't wake up like this with such lovely hair and makeup, you know. And I feel that is on us.
Right. That's very well said. You know him so well. You know them so well. You clearly have a rapport with them as well. I see wherever I see you go, you have a little bit of a banter with them.
With the paps?
With the paps. So if they are watching, what do you want to tell them?
मेरा गाड़ी का नंबर देख के follow करना बंद करो ना, please.
Right, great guys. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for sitting through this session.
Thank
Rakul,
you.
thank you very much.